Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. Wake up! Because you probably just spent 45 minutes asleep watching that crap. But on a serious note, no, I am actually being serious as well. On a serious note, that was absolutely shit from Manchester United. And I think something needs to be said about that. But I want to start off on a positive and say that 2-0 in a game like that it's a very good result. I predicted 2-0. I thought 2-0 would be a good result in a game like that. Away from home, you get two away goals and we effectively put ourselves into the semi-final. But bloody hell. I mean, I think something needs to be said at this point. We're basically championing the result over the performance. And look, I'm not going to say those words that some people are saying because we're just not at that. I'm just not at that point. I was here 3 years ago under Jose Mourinho. It feels like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. 3 years ago under Jose Mourinho, I was here, where we finished second in the league, and I had many of you saying, "Why aren't you Mourinho out? The football's absolutely shit." And I said, "Look, we're second in the league. Let's see what happens in the summer and let's see what happens next season." He didn't get backed in the summer and he was sacked by Christmas and the football was crap. There's something fundamentally wrong with Manchester United in the way we're playing football at the moment. It is absolutely diabolical. We get the ball, we take a touch, we pass it sideways, we pass it backwards, we take a touch, we go forwards. It goes to Harry Maguire. There's a big space. He runs forwards 40 yards to pass it to Luke Shaw. He could have played it to him without making the run. The football is so laboured, it's turgid, it's absolute tripe, it's crap, it's so bad. It's so bad, and it cannot be down to individual players. When you've got people like Paul Pogba, Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood, Marcus Rashford, people who can play football, this is coming from the training ground. And Solskjaer and Carrick and Phelan and everybody else, they can sit there tonight and going, "Oh, they're moaning about us again, we've just won a game and they're moaning about us." I wouldn't say I'm moaning at you in the sense that you need to be fired or anything like that. I'm warning you. I think people are warning you. The result's fantastic. Let's get the result. Let's get the result and go to the next round. I totally agree with that. But that's not sustainable. That is awful football. You're mis-selling us. I feel like I've bought a tin of white paint and I've opened it up and it's grey. Like, this is not Manchester United Football Club. You cannot come into the club, sell us stories of years gone by of success and risk and DNA and Manchester United way. You can't come and sell us that and then deliver that. And you can't hide behind results because we backed Mourinho to do this and we sacked Mourinho for doing this. At Manchester United, you play a certain brand of football and you win. That's what you do. You play entertaining football and you win. And at the moment, we are doing fantastically well. Under no circumstances should Ole Gunnar Solskjaer be talked about sacking or anything like that. We're second in the league. We're going to be in the Europa League semi-final. But that is not planning for the future. That is just existing. That's like waking up in the morning and not getting out of bed. You know, you're alive, but you're not really doing anything. It's not good enough. It's not rant time. It's not get rid of Ollie time. That's way, way too far. If you want to go that way, that's fine. But what I'm saying is he needs a shock. Solskjaer needs a kick up the arse because that football is atrocious. And it's not just one of those days in the office. It's not that. This is week in, week out. This is side to side, crab football, slow momentum. For twice in a week, we've won 2 games. The Brighton game was a good win, and that's a good win. But that's all I can say. Player ratings, links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10, honestly. 6 being average. Star for your man of the match. Get on that before we come to the player ratings because I'm struggling tonight. I'm struggling to give people good scores. So the most exciting thing actually was the streaker. He was the best thing in our midfield tonight. He was running free. He was expressive. He looked happy. He looked fantastic. That's the best thing we saw in our midfield all night. And he had his kit off. And, you know, that doesn't do it for me. But it was still the most exciting thing on the pitch. Manchester United tonight were not Manchester United. We were Mourinho United. And riddle me this. If it was not acceptable under Jose Mourinho, why are we being sold it under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? What is he doing? This is the thing I'm trying to say. What is the plan, Ollie? What are you doing? Like, there's no excuse tonight. There's no excuse at all for just coming out and saying, well, we've done a job in Europe. Because Granada played better football than us. Brighton played better football than us. I've seen Newcastle come to Old Trafford and play better football than us. You can't... It feels wrong to say this because it's working, but we can't keep doing that. You can't, and I don't care. Look, people will probably disagree with me and say you're being over the top. But I don't want to watch that. And I'm not going anywhere as a United fan, and you're not going anywhere as a United fan. I don't want to watch that. I watched Bayern Munich PSG last night. I was so entertained that I couldn't give a shit about either club. I just loved the game. I watched United, my club, tonight, and I'm bored to tears. I'm actually watching it thinking, you know what? I feel sorry for Granada. They're not very good, but they've played so much better than us. I think they could play till Christmas and not score. But I didn't want them to score, but I was like, if they score, they deserve a draw. They've lost 2-0 by playing better football than us, and we are not doing anything different to what Mourinho was doing 3 years ago. And that's my issue. That's what I'm saying here. I'm not saying Ollie out, I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, Mourinho was second in the league last year. You couldn't sack him second in the league. You can't sack Ollie second in the league. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, Ollie, please listen to what some of the fans are saying. The football is abysmal. You cannot send a team out and go side to side to side. Take a touch, side to side. I don't understand this. I said it in the watch along. When I used to play football, when I was training, you'd get 5 or 6 people in a circle. You'd put 2 people in the middle. They'd chase the ball down. This is before a game. It's a warm-up exercise. They'd chase the ball down. If they intercept the pass, the person who gets intercepted and the person on their left, them 2 go in the middle and you go again. And it's one touch. It's one touch. So that ball's coming into you. You've got 2 players running towards you, and you'll either think a pass over the top, you'll pass it to someone there. It's quick thinking. I'm not allowed to take a touch because they'll be on me. If you're doing that on a Sunday morning for a pub football team, why are Man United players not receiving the ball and passing it one touch? And I don't want them to do it all the time, but sometimes would wake me up. Like every pass goes into McTominay or Pogba or Bruno or Dan James or Wan-Bissaka or Maguire. The ball comes to them. They can see it. It's got a stamp on it. It's coming to them. And it's probably coming 30 yards. You know, they could wave at it. You know, they could even have a gift for it when it comes. You know, bunch of flowers. It comes into them. They can see a pass there. No, I'm going to stop it and have a chat. Now I'm going to pass it. Now, why can't that ball come and then go? Because then the opposition, they're like, oh, I'm on my toes a little bit. It's so slow. And it's so... The style of football has changed. We've become a pragmatic, possession-based team. But it's slow possession. It's the same as Van Gaal. It's the same as Mourinho. This is not Manchester United. This is not Manchester United Football Club. This is not good football. They're good results. You don't need to start saying get rid of Ollie. I still back Ollie. I still want him to do well. But something's got to change and change fast. Because that football, you ain't keeping Paul Pogba here for that shit. You won't keep Bruno Long here for that shit. He's got to change it. We are hurtling towards a cliff and we're going to fall off. That's my warning tonight. We are walking towards a cliff and we're going to fall off. The results are good. A better team tonight beats us comfortably. We won tonight because Granada aren't that good. If you played like that tonight against Barcelona or Villarreal or Ajax, they'll beat us. They will beat us. If they had good players in the final third, they'd have beat us tonight. That was not good enough from Manchester United. The result's good enough, but, you know, you take away a penalty, one of them's a penalty, and you take away a lapse in concentration from Granada and a long ball over the top. We didn't carve them open at all tonight. We won a penalty and we hit a long ball. Very good long ball by Lindelof. Brilliant finish by Rashford. Perfect away game. If you're playing, you know what, if that's game 50 for United of the season, and for 48 games of the season we've played well, and that's one bad performance, you go, you know what, sometimes you've got to play badly to win. We're playing badly to win all the time. That's the problem. The brand of football is not good enough. And I hope people interpret this in the right way. I'm not saying get Solskjaer out. I'm not saying sell this player. I'm not saying sell that player. But the brand of football we're playing is terrible. I don't know what's going on in the coaching ground. It's amateur at the moment. And let's not forget, Soldado in the first half, back post not marked again. Like, we haven't conceded today, but some of it was poor. So, yeah, I'd say that. Deacon says you say you can't sack a manager after finishing second. I beg to differ with a club like Man United. Well, we're not going to be that club, Deacon. I'm not in charge of it. You're not in charge of it. We're not going to be that club. I think Real Madrid would sack him. They would do, but United, United only sack a manager when you don't get top 4. Moyes, Van Gaal, Mourinho wasn't going to get top 4. That's the requirement to get the sack under our business ownership. They'll only sack you when you can't get top four. We genuinely have a team to play a back three like against PSG. We don't have quality wide players but excellent midfielders, says George. Do you think it's time to change the formation instead of a 4-2-3-1, go with a 4-3-3, says Ennis. I'm so glad we won. Garbage anti-football. Club Granada got what they deserved. Not the best performance. Hopefully we can play better at Old Trafford, says Alia. We could break apart the worst defensive side in La Liga, and that league is horrible. I've been worried since February and the team is rusting away, says Gabriel Noel. Thank you for the great content and your patience to do this every day. I'm actually low-key excited to see another back four and a new midfield next meeting, says Bjorn. And relying on Rashford again. What boring football you play, says Zane. Yeah, but you've just drawn. You're going out. You're panicking. But you know what? I think my major concern is I'm concerned not about we're going to sack the manager. That to me is not what I'm concerned about. I think if you want Ollie out, you're going to have to wait till next season because he will get a new contract. We will finish in the top four and he will be managing us next season. But I wouldn't be surprised, as I've said before, another warning to Solskjaer. Look at Mourinho 3 years ago. I don't know whether you were in Mulder and you weren't checking what was going on at United. You're playing the same sort of football. You're in the same league position and Mourinho was sacked by Christmas. Wake up and smell the coffee. You go into next season playing like this, you're gone. You're gone by Christmas. And I tell you what, you go into next season playing like this and I will be Ollie out. So, and I think many other people will. So he needs to heed the warning. Can we improve? I think we could improve very, very quickly. Very, very quickly. But what worries me, have we now become this team? Is this who we are? Is this the identity of Manchester United? Is this what Solskjaer's brand of football is now? Slow, pragmatic, side-to-side football. Because it's becoming very consistent. And if that's the consistent theme, you get fans back in the ground, you're finished. You play like this next season, you're finished. The thing that worries me is this, do they think this is acceptable? Do they think that this is fine? Do they think this is absolutely the way to go? If that might be the problem. The other thing that worries me is, why are we trying to sign Erling Haaland? Like, another game, the second time in a week, probably the seventh time in the month, that we have played a brand of football that does not suit spending lots of money on a striker. What are you going to ask Erling Haaland to do if he comes to Manchester United for £150 million? He'll be the most expensive car washer I've ever seen. Because you may as well send him into Granada's car park to earn some pocket money. There is absolutely nothing going on the pitch for number 9 at Man United. They've got a picture of Haaland on the screen here. I don't know what Hargreaves or Scholes are saying, but if they're saying United need a number 9, you are the thickest footballer, Owen, I've ever bloody heard. We don't need a number 9 at United. There is nothing going on for a number 9. How could you ever say we need a number 9? What in that game today shows you that we need a number 9? We need a bloody footballer who can play football from the back quickly. Number 9. Oh yeah. United's problem is they need a proper number 9. We can't even get near the goal. If we had Erling Haaland playing up front, we could send a pigeon to him to say, get in the box. We'll be there in about a week's time. We do nothing. For the number 9. Greenwood and Cavani played at number 9 and Rashford today. How many chances did we create for 3 different number 9s? Zero. We create nothing for a number 9. Why do we want to buy a number 9? It's absolutely stunning that we want to buy a number 9 in that system. And don't tell me that if we buy a number 9, we'll play differently. What a load of bullshit. So we're playing crap, turgid football until we buy a number 9. It's madness. The amount of people who think we need a number 9. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I feel like Manuel from Faulty Towers. It's crazy. I don't understand it. It's crazy. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know nothing. It's crazy. I don't know. I just cannot get it. I've got to bring a bit of comedy in. I cannot get why we think we need a number 9. Who's watching these games? Who's... Karaki on the flight home. Karaki, I tell you what, if we had Haaland, we'd win this. We win the league. We're not nowhere near good enough to win the league. And a number 9 won't matter. That team needs a centre-back that's quick next to Maguire to push us further up the pitch, and it needs a midfield who can run the midfield and allow the box-to-box players more freedom. And ultimately, more than all of that, it needs a coaching setup that says, let's play a higher tempo. And you know when people say, let's play a higher tempo, it's so easy to play a higher tempo. I've heard Ollie come out after the game and say, oh, the tempo was slow. You know how you get the tempo up? You get off your arse, you walk to the halfway line, in your technical box and you shout at the players to get the tempo up, play the ball quicker, one touch passing, the tempo will go up just like that. There's no fans in the ground. They'll all hear you. So it's the football is so frustrating. It really is. The result is fantastic. And as I said, this is not kick a player out. This is not Ollie out. It's none of that. But we are Manchester United. We're Manchester United. And winning is important, but winning the right way is very important. Liverpool have this. God, even Spurs and West Ham think they have it. You win, but you win in the right way. We've got an identity at this football club, and we need to find that identity. And the football tonight, the football against Brighton, and too many times this season, the football has been shite. And what I don't understand is how you've got Paul Pogba in the midfield, you've got Bruno Fernandes at number 10, and you've got people like Mason Greenwood and Marcus Rashford, and yet we still play shit. It's the tempo of the team. You don't tell me that Pogba and Bruno have walked on that pitch and gone, you know what I'm going to do today, Matthew? You know who I'm going to be tonight, Matthew? I'm going to be Nemanja Matic. I'm going to get the ball and pass it sideways for 90 minutes. They don't want to do that. They're being told to do that. Ollie's got to get more expressive. But I tell you what I think it is. I think it's fear. I think it's fear. I think it's fear to try something new, because if it fails, you'll get criticised. I think it's fear to use people like Diallo and Twansebi and Brandon Williams and Donny van der Beek. And it's fear to use anything new, because what if it doesn't work? I know what I'll do. I'll stick with the safe players like Dan James. I'll stick with Scott McTominay. I'll stick with Fred. I'll stick with Maguire and Lindelof. I'll stick with put a shift in FC, because there's a good chance when I look at the results this season, we've won so many games by 1 goal. We've grinded so many out with put a shift in FC. And I think he's just playing safe. Now, is he playing safe till the end of the season and then he'll try and be more expansive next year? Or is he always just going to keep playing safe? That's the question mark for next season for me. It really is. Please smash a like on the video, by the way. Let's see if we can get 5,000 likes while we're live. And make sure you do your player ratings. It's 2-minute warning. I'm going to do the player ratings in 2 minutes. Links in the video description. Mark every player out of 10. 6 being the average. Put your star rating next to it. What I would say about Ollie, I just want to say this because it's not all bad news. He got the Rashford thing right. I never would have risked Rashford tonight. He didn't look fit. And I say this from a position of I want Marcus Rashford fit. I want Marcus Rashford playing for United when he's 30. I don't want him running to the ground. I don't want him overplayed. I wouldn't have played him tonight. We played him. He scored a great goal. I'm sure Rashford wanted to play and Ollie took the risk and it worked and Rashford came off and it was fine. So you've got to give Ollie the credit there. Yeah, it was risky. The thing is, it's so hypocritical, isn't it? It's so hypocritical. I'm saying don't pick Rashford, it's too risky. Ollie picks him, it's risky. I'm saying play a better brand of risky football. Ollie plays pragmatic. So he'll risk Rashford, but he won't risk good football. It's a contradiction. Do you think Ollie says Donny time will come because he will bring in some more creative midfielders next season? Says Garg. Don't even talk to me about Donny van der Beek. I don't know. I've got no answer. This match was dreadful, says Omar. I can't even bring myself to celebrate the goals. Shocking. I'll always celebrate the goals. And ultimately, we did play badly, but I'll live with us playing badly and winning every week. I don't want it to happen every week, but I never want United to lose. But you can't. That's why you can't be quiet about it. You can't sit here and go, it's just about the result, because it's too much been about the result. And every single one of us who said Mourinho out is a fucking hypocrite, because you can't sit here tonight and say, well, it's all about the result. I don't know what you're moaning about. 3 years ago, everyone wanted Mourinho out of a job. So we can't be a hypocrite as a fan base. We can't sit here tonight and go, well, I don't know what people are moaning about. I don't know what people are moaning about. We've won and people are just not happy. Well, unless you stuck by Mourinho, you should not be being a hypocrite tonight. You've got to say the result's fantastic, but the football needs to improve. Because otherwise, why did we sack Mourinho? We were in exactly the same boat 3 years ago. Thank you for the great content and your patience to do this every day. I've done that from Bjorn. And also, first half, man of the match, amazing ball control, moment of individual brilliance, great run, man of the match for Streaker. Says Paul Holloway. I thought you were going to end with a player there. Right, we're going to do the play ratings. But look, I would say this, without a shadow of a doubt, Manchester United would have lost that game tonight if we'd played against a better side. Without a shadow of a doubt, we would have done. Right, I'm going to do the player ratings. Please smash a like on the video while I'm just uploading the player ratings. And subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. We've got the fan forum coming in after me, but the player ratings is always a good, fun part of the stream. The player ratings is actually more interesting than the match tonight. So, player ratings tonight. Let's start off with David De Gea. You know what? In relation to David De Gea, let me just get Ollie on the screen as well, because he's just talking. He's happy. 2 away goals and a clean sheet. Perfect night for United. Not a perfect night. We got 3 yellow cards and 3 suspensions for the next game. A 2-0 result is a very good result, of course. We know how difficult it is coming to Spain to get these kind of results. We have to play well to get them. Very happy with the result. Yeah, you didn't play well, Ollie. I'm sorry. I mean, well, I'm not listening to him. Look, he's happy with the result. He's over the moon. He keeps himself in the tournament, and I'm very happy that we're going to get in the semi-final. But we've got to start playing football at some point. You can't just keep playing this brand of football. We're going to get a beating. We're going to get a hiding very soon if we're not careful. Fortunately, we're playing another negative team on the weekend, so we'll probably win that, Spurs. Anyway, player ratings. David De Gea today gets a 6 for me, 6.5. Look, I'm going to be consistent. I don't have an agenda against Dean Henderson. I'm not totally pro David De Gea. All I wanted was fairness. I was very happy that David De Gea was picked tonight because we've been fair with Henderson and De Gea up until last week, and now we're being fair again. That's fine. I applaud Ollie for that. I thought they had a few really powerful shots at David De Gea that Alisson would have bloody spilt, but De Gea held on to them. He wasn't really tested. Clean sheet. We've seen Dean Henderson do this a lot in the Europa League. Wasn't tested, but you do well when you've got it. So steady from David De Gea is what I would say. Nothing more than that. You know, I'm very happy for them to share the role. In the summer, one of them's got to go. But for now, share the role, keep the value. Let's see what's happening. Wan-Bissaka for me tonight, probably a steady 6 as well. 5.8 from you. Not a lot going forward. Defensively, I mean, he was out of position a couple of times again. Soldado on the back post was his man. But I think a lot of this is down to he needs to work on his positional sense. But we're not very good at marking people. Lindelof for me has got to be a man of the match contender. I'd give him a 7 as of you. High 5. We've got exactly the same score there. Yes, that ball over the top is fantastic. I mean, I can't believe how high Granada's line was. But Lindelof saw it. Lovely weighted ball. Back spin on it as well. If he hits it with top spin, it's going to bounce on. The back spin allows Rashford to just kill it when he takes it down. It's a lovely ball, and the weight of the ball and the spin on the ball is perfect. And I thought defensively he actually played quite well tonight, Lindelof. Poor at the weekend against Brighton, but good tonight. So Lindelof definitely a man of the match contender. He did well. Maguire, I mean, had that one run and shot, but you know, I think as a captain he could have handled that game a little bit better. I think he needed to get in the ref's ear a bit. They were in the ref's ear. I think you've got to be a little bit streetwise in Europe against the referee like that. As an individual performance, won a lot of headers, got caught out a couple of times, but yeah, I'd give him an average 6. I thought Maguire was all right tonight. Luke Shaw probably, I mean, he went off at half time. I'd just give him a 6. Got a yellow card, which was a bit disappointing, but I'd give him a 6. Scott McTominay, 5 for me. Yeah, I confidently went with a 5 there. Silly yellow cards. Just very, very, very mundane on the ball. I felt again for the second week in a row we lost the midfield battle. Just dull performance. You know, very, very safe. Yeah, just very dull from McTominay again. He's not a CDM, is he? We need to buy a CDM. We know this. I don't think we need to dwell on anything more than that. And again, I'd say probably Pogba a 5 as well. I mean, look, McTominay's one thing, Pogba's another. What a waste of a player. I don't know what we're asking him to do, but it's not Paul Pogba, is it? I mean, getting the ball, controlling it and passing it sideways, that's not Paul Pogba. I mean, why is he not being allowed to express himself? Why are we not moving the ball quicker? Why is he not allowed to pass and move? Why is he not allowed to carry the ball? Why is the tempo so slow around a player like that? Yeah, I mean, maybe he's not fully fit. I don't know, but it wasn't. I think you could have played Fred tonight and not missed Pogba. It was just we just didn't get the best out of Pogba. And similarly, again, I mean, I'll give Bruno a 6 because he scored the penalty, but it wasn't vintage Bruno. I mean, I think Bruno's been existing again. I mean, Bruno's almost been dragged down to the level of the team, hasn't he? I don't know. I mean, Bruno will always contribute. He always finds a way of contributing, but it wasn't great from Bruno. I think if Bruno doesn't score the penalty, I give him a 5. Similarly to Pogba, I mean, what are we doing with these players? I love Pogba and I love Bruno, but we're not utilising them. Brighton won the midfield battle last weekend and Granada won the midfield battle this weekend, and we've got Bruno and Pogba in the team. I think they're just drowning in the negativity of the tempo of the team. They're not being allowed to express themselves. And pragmatic United, but pragmatic doesn't allow quality players to blossom, does it? So, yeah, Bruno, I'd give him a 6. A lot of people saying you should have given him a 5. I just think the penalty knocks him up to an average 6. If you've given him a 5, I can't complain. I'd just give him a 6. And most of you have given him a 6, to be fair. Dan James, another 5 for me. I mean, he put a shift in. Ricky will say he put a shift in. He did put a shift in. He had a nasty foul against him. The one time he got past his man, he got fouled. But does Dan James suit a game against a team that's going to press you and not leave a lot of space? No. Is Dan James going to suit a game like that? No. I think Donny van der Beek, who came on the right wing in the last 7 minutes, should have started that game. The tempo would have been a lot better. But if you're going to play the way we're playing, which is low tempo, do a job, put a shift in FC, then Dan James will do a job. And he did do a job today. But I don't really want a United-wide player to be part of do a job FC. I want a little bit more. And I don't think Dan James, in fairness, is ever going to suit a game like that. He wants to run into space. He wants to get his head down. He wants to run into space, get a shot off or put a cross in. That's all he wants to do. And he'll track the left back. That's not enough for a Manchester United player. And I think Dan James actually, in a sad way, sort of befits what Man United were tonight. Put a shift in, grind out a result. And you want a little bit more than that. And we have got players who can do more than that. And I'm not saying start Diallo, but there were different ways of combining. So no, I think the game passed Dan James by a little bit. Rashford, it's hard to mark Rashford. It really is. The goal is superb. It's absolutely world class. And I get criticised because I think Marcus Rashford can be a top 10 player in the world. And people say, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, yeah, beyond Neymar, Mbappe, Haaland, Messi, Ronaldo, there's 4 or 5 slots there to be in the top 10. Is he in there at the moment? Not quite. Could he be in there? If we ever got him fit, if he sorted his final ball out, I think he could be in there. And I think that ball over by Lindelof is brilliant. But to take it down like a magnet and finish, he made something very hard look very, 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 very easy. So look, Rashford today, that one moment really, because the penalty's a penalty, isn't he? The genuine goal is the Rashford goal. So I think there's an argument to give him a 7 for what he did on the goal. But away from that, what did he do? Not very much. It's that moment. And Ollie deserves the tick because that one moment got us a very important away goal. Greenwood tonight, look, God, I mean, he's in the graveyard shift. Rashford disappeared in the graveyard shift. Cavani disappeared in the graveyard shift, and Greenwood disappeared in the graveyard shift. The graveyard shift is number 9, but apparently we want to spend £150 million on somebody to play in that role. It won't improve our number 9 by buying a better number 9. The service is just not there. I would probably give Greenwood a 6 tonight. He's 19 years of age. He's playing as a number 9 with very little service. Yes, he gave the ball away a lot, but he always wants the ball. It wasn't his best performance, but I still think he was one of the bright sparks in quite a poor performance. Absolutely no service. Yeah, I know he gave the ball away a bit, but he worked hard, he tracked back, he ran the lines, he kept showing for the ball. I'd give him probably a generous 6, but, I think he's playing in such a shit position. It's such a bad position to play for United. It's the worst place on the pitch. Number 9 for United should be everybody's dream. When I was growing up, I want to be number 9 for United. I want to be the goal scorer. It's one of the worst positions to play for Man United. You are absolutely hung out to dry, exposed. We've seen it with Martial. We've seen it with Cavani. We've seen it with Greenwood. It's just not good. It's not good at all. And I feel for him. I'm always sympathetic of the number 9, as you know. So I'm sure a lot of you have gone lower than me. but I do empathise with that position. I think it's a real graveyard shift, to be fair. Let's have a look who's next. Tellez, thought he did all right when he came on. Give him a 6. Put a good couple of crosses in. We're going to need him next week. I don't know whether Luke Shaw's picked up an injury, but I thought Tellez did quite well. Cavani, again, I'll give him a 6. It's a graveyard shift. I'm probably being a little bit generous. He did absolutely nothing when he came on, to be fair, but there's no service around him. Matic, 5. I mean, look, none of our midfield are getting anything more than a 5. You go on, you put a shift in, you pass sideways. I could do that. Donny van der Beek, 7 minutes of what? I mean, no, sorry, 6. Can't give him a 5. 7 minutes. I don't know. Streaker, probably man of the match. Give him a 9. I've never seen such free running and expression in our midfield for weeks. Sign him up. Sign him up. He was absolutely superb. The freedom he got in that midfield and the joy he had. He just let it hang loose. There was high tempo. He didn't want to pass sideways. He was out in front free. He just let loose. And probably the best thing I've seen in our midfield for weeks. So well done to him. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, on a serious note. Look, you know what? You know me. I'm never wanting to be negative for negative's sake. I think it's very easy to lose your shit and all that lot. But smash a like on the video for the streaker, by the way. He won't be getting man of the match, but he deserves a man of the match performance in the midfield for sure. Look, performance-wise, I'd give us a 3. Result-wise, it's probably a 7. So I'm going to give him a 5 for that. The result is brilliant. 2-0. If you hadn't watched that game tonight, right? If you've been, I don't know, painting the fence, or you've had a few too many beers, or it's a family function or whatever, like if you've not watched the game and you don't know what's going on and you check the final scores and it's 2-0, you're probably really happy. And that's probably the best way to watch that game tonight. The result, 2-0, is brilliant. No goals conceded, 2 away goals, yabba dabba do. If you've actually watched the game, the performance was terrible. So I would give him a 5 tonight, 4.6. But really, I was very, very close to giving him a 6. So therefore, my man of the match is going to be... I'm going to give it to Victor Lindelof for me. So let's have a look who the man of the match is. Streaker. Oh my God. Victor Lindelof got 39% of the vote. But in a first, the man of the match for Manchester United is the Streaker. He'll be streaking again now. Can he play on Saturday in the midfield? That's hilarious. That is I didn't actually think that would happen. We've had Diallo be given 10 out of 10 by everybody and not be man of the match. So the Streaker is the man of the match. Lindelof, you're second to a Streaker with 39%. You know what? If Victor's watching, which I'm sure he isn't, and you're not happy, blame it on your midfield. Because if McTominay and Pogba and Matic hadn't played so poorly because of the system, and he hadn't come on for his cameo and ran that midfield, I think you would have got it, Victor. But at the end of the day, it is the Streaker that's won it. Farce or not, you vote, and you've given us a bit of entertainment tonight by voting for him, at least. The Streaker is the man of the match tonight. So, there you have it. Look, I think at the end of the day, the quickest... I mean, some of you are probably still asleep anyway, so I don't want to say the best thing we can do is just put that game to bed, because literally we've been in bed for 90 minutes. But result over performance, of course. It was a very good performance from Manchester United. It was a very good result from Manchester United. It was not a very good performance from Manchester United at all. I think we all know that. But Manchester United have won. We are going to be in the semi-final. Roma won 2-1 against Ajax, so they'll be the favourite in that one. We're going to have to improve our style of play. I don't know how good Roma are. I don't know how good Ajax are, but they're better than Granada. And I genuinely think it wouldn't have taken a much better team than Granada to beat us tonight. We didn't play very well. It's a very good win. It's a bit similar to Porto-Chelsea last night. Porto were better than Chelsea. Chelsea were clinical and won it. And I think the same things happened to us. Thanks everyone for watching, by the way. Please smash a like on the video. And we're going over to the fan forum now. Let's raid with Streaker MOTM. Thanks for watching. It will push you onto that video automatically. I'll see you on the raid. I'll see you on the raid on there.